Let's go, Bobby Moe. Good morning. I've said before, I'm Dr. Chris Howard, the 8th president of Robert Morris University, and I'm pleased to welcome you here today to celebrate a great day for RMU. Today we announce that Bernard Clark will be the next head coach of the RMU Colonials football team. Let me just say that one more time. Today we announce that Bernard Clark will be the next head coach of RMU's football team. You'll hear more about Coach Clark and his illustrious career in a moment, but for now, allow me to be the first to officially welcome Coach Clark and his lovely wife, Tammy, to the Colonial Nation. You've arrived in Moon, and now it's time to blast off. Football has had a relatively short but proud history here at Robert Morris University. Football, as much as anything, has marked RMU's transformation from being a commuter college to a comprehensive residential national doctoral granting university, alongside other great institutions like those in the Ivy League at Duke, Stanford, the University of Pittsburgh, and up the road at Penn State. Football is now a rich tradition on the RMU campus. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't express the debt of gratitude that RMU owes to Coach Clark's two predecessors, Joe Walton and John Banasak. Our student athletes were privileged to be coached and mentored by these two outstanding gentlemen, and we are justly proud of all they have accomplished. Coach Clark, you have big shoes to fill, but I've seen your feet, and I know you're up to the task. Today, we look to the future, and it's a bright one for the Colonials. Under construction right next door is the UPMC Event Center, the future home of our basketball and volleyball teams. And just up the road on campus is our Student Recreation Center and Fitness Center, and I hope that you all have not been on campus. Take a second to go check that out. All of these represent the promise of excellence that we make to all of our students and our student athletes, our faculty, our staff, and our alumni alike. So I often say we've had great days behind us, but rest assured the best days of Robert Morris and Robert Morris University football are ahead of us. Thank you, and I am now pleased to introduce our Director of Athletics, Dr. Craig Coleman.
Thank you, Dr. Howard, and thanks to the folks in the media and to our staff and friends of RMU Athletics for sharing this celebration with us as we begin a new era of RMU football. After an exhaustive coaching search process that included over 160 coaching candidates, we have found the right man at the right time to lead our football program, Coach Bernard Clark Jr. As a linebacker at the University of Miami, where he earned a bachelor's degree in business administration, Tiger, as he is known to his friends, was part of two national championship teams and was named the 1987 Orange Bowl MVP. He went on to be a third-round draft pick in the NFL in 1990, playing for the Bengals and Seahawks, as well as 2 seasons in the Arena Football League before turning to a career in coaching. Coach Clark has served as assistant coach at a number of schools, including Pitt, where he was reunited with his defensive coordinator, Dave Wannstedt from Miami, Colorado State, South Florida, Florida International, Liberty, James Madison, and Hampton, before arriving at Albany 4 years ago. At Albany, he's held the position of associate head coach and defensive coordinator. In 2017, the season just concluded, his defense was ranked 9th in the nation in FCS, and 2nd in the very powerful Colonial Athletic Association. In 2016, his defense was actually ranked 1st in the Colonial Athletic Association, and in his first year at Albany, his defense led the nation in turnover margin and fumble recoveries. That outstanding resume was what put Coach Clark into serious consideration for our head coaching position. But we weren't just looking to hire a coach with a great resume. We were looking to hire a coach who could also bring to Robert Morris the intangibles. From the initial phone interview to our in-person interviews here on campus with our search committee, Coach Clark really impressed us with his outstanding character and his personal values. He is someone we believe is an exemplary leader of young men who will set a strong, positive culture for our football program. Every year, we bring in student athletes into our program from a wide variety of football backgrounds and with varying life experiences. We believe that with the strong leadership from Coach Clark, these young men can be molded into a winning football program, both on the field and in the much bigger game of life. With that, I'm proud to introduce to you RMU's new football head coach, Bernard Clark Jr.
Well, I was going to write something down, but I've been waiting for this so long, I really know what I want to say. First of all, I want to thank God for this opportunity because he's given me so many blessings along the way that I've done this, and it's been outstanding. Secondly, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Tammy, who's been with me for the last 19 years going through this journey, going through all those schools he just announced and moving all over the place with me. So she's been a rock. And I tell people all the time, she's not perfect, but she's perfect for me. And I love her dearly. Thank you very much. Next, I want to thank my parents, who if they didn't do what they did 50 years ago, I wouldn't be here either. So I want to thank my mom and dad, Bernard Clark Sr. and Teresa McVelly Clark. I want to thank them also. I also want to take the time to thank now Dr. Howard, Dr. Coleman for giving me this opportunity more than anything else. And lastly but not least, I want to thank Greg Cattuso and Mark Benson. Those are the guys I just worked for at University of Albany. And they were behind me 100% when I was looking for this opportunity. They told me how to go out and get it. They presented me with the ideas. They sat me down and told me some of the questions I would be asked. So I want to thank those two gentlemen more than anything else. The first thing I want to tell you is this. What I'm here to do is to build a foundation based on trust, honesty, discipline, integrity, and character so that our young men can become better men, better husbands, and better fathers. That has been my motto ever since I started coaching at James Madison University years ago. Because when I got into coaching, it wasn't about the X's and O's. And a lot of coaches have heard this 100 times. It's never about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. That's what's important to me, these young men, trying to help them grow in so many ways, so that once they leave RMU, they become productive citizens throughout the world. Those are things that are important to me. And with that said, and everyone knows this has interviewed me so far, there are three things that I won't tolerate. There are three things I'll tell the guys as soon as they get back to their first meeting. The first thing is this: you must be on time for everything. On time for everything. If you're not on time for everything, there are consequences when you're not on time. The second thing is, the one thing I don't like is cell phones. Mine is driving me crazy right now because so many people are calling me and thanking me and it's blowing up, but it's driving me nuts. With a cell phone rule is this: if I see your cell phone once the meeting starts, you got 300 yards of up downs. If your cell phone goes off, I'm taking it for 48 hours. I used to take it for 7 days, but Coach Cattuso said, that's a bit much, Tiger. Just kind of pulled back a little bit. So now I take it for 48 hours. And the last thing, but it's probably the most important thing, I don't want to hear the N-word. I don't want to hear from black players. I don't want to hear from white players. I think it's significant in our society, and I think it's something that we should not be calling each other, and I want guys to understand that more than anything. I don't want to hear that word. Because, again, we're trying to build better men, better husbands, and better fathers. I got into coaching because of those three things. This is a game I love, and I understand that this is a privilege for me to coach college football, and it's a privilege for me to lead these young men in so many ways, and I understand the importance of that privilege. My door will always be open, no questions asked. If you want to come in and laugh with me, cry with me, talk to me, whatever the situation may be. But understand this: when you walk into my office, you will get the truth. And truth is like poetry. And most people can't stand poetry. So understand that more than anything else. So we got to make sure that we're focused on the thing that's important. So when the young men return, they got to understand that we're going to be focused in everything we do. We're going to be disciplined in everything we do. But we're going to be enthusiastic about what we do. And I've told Dr. Coleman this: remember, discipline is not the enemy to enthusiasm. We have to be focused. We have to be willing to do what it takes to be a great football team. But more importantly, we have to be doing what it takes to be a great man, a great husband, and a great father. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll take them now. Yes, sir. You didn't call me back, Omari. I called you yesterday, and you didn't call me back. Okay, but that's fine. Okay. That's fine. No problem. No problem. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, just like I got a lot of stuff going on. No problem. It's good.
Of course, Dr. Coleman said earlier that you were very impressive during the phone interviews. But what made Robert Morris the right fit for you, and why make the jump to being a head coach now?
The first thing I noticed about Robert Morris is when Coach Walton was the head coach over 20 years, they won 6 conference championships. They won 2 national championships, non-scholarship guys. They were a great team. For some reason or other, over the last 6 or 7 years, they've fallen off. And it's no fault of the last coach. It has nothing to do with that. The same coach they were running before, they same culture. What I saw was an opportunity for me, again, to help these young men grow, to build a culture here that they had before, to talk to alumni and let them know the things that we want to bring back here more than anything. That's what I saw more than anything. I saw a chance to build a program, not build a football team. I think that's where people make a mistake more. I'm not here to build a football team. I'm here to build a program. I'm not looking to get it going and leave in 2 years. I'm looking to build a football program, and that's what me and my wife want to do. Yeah, keep going. Tell me some lies and make me stop thinking about the truth. Go ahead, let's go.
Of course, you're here to build a program, team. On the field, what is your philosophy, and would you say your teams are built, maybe more on defense, more on offense, sort of what are the quirks in it?
Well, the biggest thing about the teams, more than anything else, and I've told the guys this, basically, and I get this from Dr. Howard, we're going to teach these guys how to tie their shoes again, how to put their socks on. We're going to be teachers of the game. We're going to teach basic fundamentals more than anything else. Teach you how to tackle properly, how to step with the right footwork. Everything is important, but it's more about technique. It's not about scheme. It's not about what we're going to do on offense or what we're going to do on defense. Those things are important. But if we can't get the guys to do what we need them to do, technically, right hand placement, right foot placement, if they can't do the technical and the basic fundamentals of what we're trying to do, we can't win football games. So we're going to be based on, especially when spring ball starts. And I hope some of them are listening to me right now, because once spring ball starts, guys, the first 3 days is going to be almost like a walkthrough, because we got to make sure we're doing exactly what we want out of these guys so we can carry it over. And once we start putting the scheme in, those things have to remain there. Because when it's in the fourth quarter, you're dying and you're hurting, you have to go back to your fundamentals to help you win football games. If you don't have basic fundamentals, which is what we're going to teach. Not saying that's not what they were taught in the past. I'm sure they were. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is that's how we're going to start out, teaching basic fundamentals and teaching proper technique.
You mentioned that Robert Morris has had some success in the past. What are some of the things that you've seen, whether it was from the outside looking in about this program or since you've been here, that are advantages for Robert Morris or things that you can use to get this program back to success?
Well, the biggest thing I think I can use more than anything else, and this comes from a coach that taught me, is Jimmy Johnson. Players don't care what you know until they know that you care. Once they understand that we care about them as people and we're trying to do what's best for them, I think they're going to reciprocate what we're trying to do more than anything else, and that's what's important more than anything else. We're going to show those guys that we like you because of who you are. We understand that you're doing what you're doing. This is not personal. It's never, ever personal. That's what you got to make guys understand. The problem with a lot of young men nowadays, they look at being coached as criticizing them. It's not about criticizing these young men. We want them to understand there's a difference between personal and performance. I am criticizing your performance. I'm not criticizing you as a young man. I think once they understand that, that's what's important. I was taught that by Jimmy Johnson. When I was at the University of Miami, and I've said this publicly many times, I'm sure Coach is watching right now. If he is watching, he'll hear it again. If killing was legal, I'd have killed Coach Johnson. But I love the way he worked me. I love the way he pushed me. And I know I could go into his office at any time because he cared about me as a person, and that's why I wanted to play hard for him. My record at the University of Miami was 55-5 with 2 national championships, and that's because of what Coach Johnson and what Dennis Erickson did to us, the way they pushed us, the way they care about us as people. And that's what I'm willing to show these guys more than anything else. We care about you as people, therefore we need you to perform the way you're capable of performing on the field.
You're working for Greg Gattuso at Albany. What did he tell you about Pittsburgh? I guess the importance of football in this area, things like that.
Nothing. No, I'm just joking. He,
I don't believe that.
No, he told me it's a great place. Well, the thing I learned more than anything else when I was in Pittsburgh before, it's a sports town. People here love their sports more than anything else. That's what he told me more than anything else. As a head coach, the greatest information Greg told me was stay the course. Even when you think it's not going away, whatever you believe in, make sure you stay the course. And I believe in discipline and enthusiasm. And I'm going to stay the course for that as long as I'm here.
Is there something you've learned from the recruiting landscape here with Coach Gattuso and your time at Pitt as far as, what type of players maybe come out of Western Pennsylvania?
Well, the great thing about Pennsylvania, when I first started, with my first full-time coaching job at Liberty University, I worked under Ken Karcher. I'm not sure if some of you guys know Ken Karcher. Ken Karcher's from Pittsburgh. The first thing he taught about me about Pennsylvania players and Pittsburgh players was they're tough. That's one thing I've saw more than anything else. These guys play hard. They play extremely hard. So that's the one thing they've taught me about guys more than anything else. And where I'm from, Tampa, Florida, we got speed in Florida. So if we could put toughness and speed together, I think we could be okay.
Of course, you were a Pitt assistant coach in 2010. Was that maybe your first sort of experience in the city of Pittsburgh?
Absolutely.
And how did that, maybe help prepare you for where you are now?
Prepare me for the cold? Actually, it's colder in Albany than it is here. The one thing it prepared me for more than anything else is the passion that people of Pittsburgh have for the sport of football. That's probably what it prepared me for, and I'm expecting that same passion to rejuvenate here at Robert Morris.
And I know it's early, but, maybe not only from the player standpoint, but just from the
You mean early as in day or early as in the
early as
talking
in-
about it? Okay, I got you. Okay.
What are some of maybe the logistical things you'll tackle first, not only just from players, but, just from getting settled in as a head coach?
Well, the first thing we're going to do when I leave this meeting and I talk to a few more media people, I'm going to sit down with the coaches that are here right now and talk to them about possibly staying on staff and not staying on staff. But before we do that, we're going to sit down as a staff and we're going to watch recruits. That's why we're not having an early signing day today. Signing day is a day for early, but not for us. We're going to sit down, we're going to watch recruits, we're going to watch film, we're going to analyze these guys and see if they're right for RMU before they say they're committed. Because we got to be committed to them as well as them being committed to us. So that's what we're going to jump on as soon as we're done here.
Thank you all very much. If you have additional questions, the Sports Information Director, Dr. Coleman, Coach Clark will be here. And again, great day for the Colonial Nation.